Hi, so before I get into the presentation, I just want to talk about how important and meaningful this project was for me because this whole semester we've been talking about how artists build their careers, their systems, their identities, and I really liked how now it's my turn and I got to apply everything that I've learned into myself and my own work and just basically make this case study about me. So that was very exciting. So, yeah, my name is Mari Jimenez, and I'm applying to the role of an arts entrepreneur and creative director, specifically through the lens of my swimwear and resort wear brand, Mari. Um, so, you might be wondering, what does an arts entrepreneur and creative director actually do? Let me tell you. In this field, you are basically responsible for holding the vision. You come up with the concept, but you also shape how it looks, how it feels, how it speaks, and how it basically shows up in the world. Some core tasks are things like developing the brand identity and visual language, designing or overseeing the design of the products. You can also plan creative campaigns and like photo shoots, build a community and communicate with your audience. But there's always also the not so glamorous, not so pretty side of things, which is like budgets, timelines, production, logistics. But you just learn to appreciate everything. So when I wrote my future biography, the version of me I saw in the future looked exactly like this role. I've never really seen myself as just a designer or just a marketer. I'm always somewhere in between storytelling, visuals, product, emotion. So when I saw this role, I thought to myself, okay, that's literally me. My future bio talked about building brands that feel like memory, soft, transformative, rooted in my Colombian identity and in women's experiences, and that's basically the concept of my brand, Maje. So this role is not just anything to me, it actually lines up with the person I already feel like I'm becoming. So here's my curriculum vitae. I basically started with my education, which is a major in communication and media studies and a minor in AI for business. I actually graduated in 2 days, so yay me! um, then I also included my professional experience, which is honestly where most of my growth has happened. Um, After that, I included my entrepreneurial experience, which to me is the heart of everything because it's what means the most to me. I put the 3 brands that I've built myself. I also added the skills section where I highlighted things like brand development, creative direction, content creation, photoshoot planning, etc. Um, so yeah, I basically wanted anyone that read this resume to think like, okay, she is the creative director that we need. This is my bio. I wrote it less like a LinkedIn summary, boring, and more like a mini story because that's how I see my work. It talks about me being Colombian, about how I use storytelling and design, and how I've built brands like Mali, Trinata before Maye. I also mentioned about how one of my brands went viral on TikTok and how I did everything by myself and learned so much. Same thing with Trinata. Those experiences shaped my identity as a creative director. They taught me that I love building full worlds, not just single products, and that's exactly what this bio is trying to capture. This is my resume. It's way more filtered than my CV. Here, I basically only highlighted the things that are directly relevant to this job, which is founding my 3 brands, my marketing internship, and the goal for this resume was basically the same as my CV, making someone that reads it think that I'm perfect for this job, because that's how I feel. This slide is a quick snapshot of my brand, my J, which is the one I'm currently working on. And this brand to me is much more than just a swimwear brand. It's like a living story. It's inspired in my Colombian roots, femininity, my memories, and by the idea of transformation in a deeper way. I wanted these pieces to represent each phase that women go through and transform themselves and embrace it. So that's what I'm currently working with. When you buy a bikini, you're buying into a moment in your life, a version of you, a feeling. It's not just a physical piece. This is my brand Mali, the first one I ever did with my best friend. It actually went viral on TikTok. You can see some of the products here. I learned so much from this brand. I started when I was 14 or 13, so you can just imagine. But we did everything from scratch: photo shoots, website development, social media. Um, we even did the sweaters ourselves, like the embroidery. So it was amazing. I learned so much, and that's what sparked my love for marketing and entrepreneurship. Then we have Shanada, which is my workout brand that I did on my own. Same thing with the photo shoots. I actually took these pictures in my garage, did the website, manufacturing, everything. Um, and this brand just taught me so much how to be consistent with content and yeah. So my strength, this, I think my biggest one is that I've actually built 3 brands from scratch. So I'm not just in the idea stage. I actually think I have a good idea on what I'm doing and how to bring concepts to life with, like real feelings. On top of that, I know how to tell stories, but well, visually, verbally, and get to people emotionally. Um, My weaknesses are mostly on the technical side. For example, with my J, I'm still learning the fashion production process like pattern making, fabric sourcing, and fit. And I also don't have a website yet. But yeah, time management has been a constant challenge because of school. And opportunity wise, I'm in a really interesting place because South Florida is very hungry for meaningful brands. Everybody has a brand now, but there's no real meaning behind it. So that's good. And then for threads, the swimwear market is very saturated, competitive, and there's always the risk of not standing out. My SMART goal is by April 30th, 2026, complete a 6-piece of my origin portfolio with refined design sketches, 2 prototype samples, a brand assets document, a short cinematic teaser to share on my social media to prepare for early launch. Um, So yeah, it's specific, it's measurable, it's achievable. I already have some sketches and ideas. It's relevant and the deadline is clear. So my triple I analysis, basically instruction. I learned branding, storytelling, creative direction, and how to design my own artistic path. Um, with my immersion phase, it was all the messy, real life practice, founding my brand. And I wasn't just imagining being an arts entrepreneur, I was in my room packing orders, answering DMs, filming content, building websites at 2 a.m., organizing photo shoots, and trying things that sometimes worked and sometimes really didn't. Um, but yeah, imagination. Now I'm in a place where I can imagine the next version of this work. With the foundation that I have, I can picture my idea as more than a small collection. I see cinematic campaigns, collaborations, brand chapters inspired by different memories in Colombia or places, maybe even physical experience in the future, like pop-ups, installations, events, etc. Um, my skill analysis plan for the next 12 months. So basically, my main strategy is to build a strong foundation for my day before rushing to launch. That means finishing the origin collection, solidifying the brand story, and creating a small but powerful portfolio. In terms of craft, I want to improve my technical knowledge of garment and production. So that might look like also like the production, like cinematic production and stuff. Alignment means recognizing how much of this role I already embodies. With Mali and Trinata, they put me in the position of creative director before I even had that title. And yeah, so I'm not starting from zero. I'm refining what's already there. I can leverage my Colombian identity, my past audience from Mali, my Red Bull connections, and the fact that I'm still in a university environment with resources, professors, and peers. And for execution, I'm setting weekly and monthly habits, weekly designs, brand work blogs, 1 portfolio update per month, and just like a quarterly check in where I review what I've created and adjust the plan. For the entrepreneurial concept, I focused on the product mindset. I started treating myself and my brand like evolving products instead of waiting to magically be ready. I began thinking in prototypes, first drafts of collections, first drafts of photo shoots, first drafts of brand languages. I also thought about KPIs, like deep study guide, not just financial ones, but creative ones. How many sketches did I finish this month? How many brands assets did I create? This mindset takes a lot of pressure off. So yeah, strengths and weaknesses. We kind of talked about it already. So yeah, like I said, my biggest strength is that my documents tell one clear story. They all connect back to the same identity. A creative director and arts entrepreneur who builds emotional, narrative-driven brands. Both my CV and resume show real experience, brands I've founded, campaigns I've done, and just where I've been successful. And my weaknesses on the other side, my portfolio is still like very early stage. I don't have it like fully produced, professionally shot pieces or many like that. Um, if I was applying for a role at a bigger brand, I would probably need more polished, high budget work in the portfolio. And yeah, so thank you. I am a creative director and arts entrepreneur who doesn't just talk about ideas, I build them. I've founded multiple brands, led campaigns, and worked inside a global company, all while shaping my own artistic identity. My J is honestly the most honest reflection of who I am becoming, a woman who turns memory, emotion, and culture into design and story. This project is not a fantasy version of my career, it's actually the first structured draft of it, and I am very committed to continuing this work with more discipline, more craft, and the same heart that started it. Thank you for listening, and thank you for pushing us this semester to think of ourselves. That's the artists and entrepreneurs that we already are, just in version 1.0.